let him loose there, and you come out. I keep control is to keep him going round and round.
Yeah. And did he break the gate?
He did break the gate.
Right.
You know, it's more redirecting it really at that point, so that you're not, you know,
You're distracting him.
Yeah, my argument would be, you know, once a horse has bitten you, it's actually too late. It's happened, and that, you know, you should be really focusing on what happens next and making sure that it doesn't happen again. You know, so it's really about seeing what's happening and working below the occurrence of that behaviour, so that, because once it's happened, and you know, you might as well put it into history.
So if I change to being tentative around him and standing at a distance and a little bit unsure and expecting him to,
Which is me.
then he'll
Then he will bite.
and then I will go to him. But he's going to be tempted to bite or nip like that, and he needs to know that we're not doing that. But I'm here giving him the opportunity to do that if he needs to, just so that I can correct him. That's a good boy. Well done. That's good. That's a good little horse. Just a big baby, aren't you? But you see how I haven't moved very much at all. You know, I'm saying to him, this is where I would quite like to be on the planet, and it's fair enough, it's not a huge amount of the planet. Oh, good boy. So now he's much more thoughtful and considering
No, the stamping.
oh, what is that? What is that? I'm going to just give him a spin on the lunge. Have you lunged him at all?
No.
No.
Oh. So any moment that he has a naughty thought like that, you know, it's just getting onto it really. You know, get on and interrupting that thought so that it doesn't come through into his body. Because once he's moving and advancing on you, it's not too late, but it's getting too late. You know. Stop coming. Stop. Oh, it's alright. It's okay. So rather than what he's trying to do, he's trying to speed, not now, but what he's trying to do is speed the pace of things up and lose you in that pace, so that because he knows he can do everything much faster than we can, so we're going to bring him down to a pace that is more manageable, and ideally really slow, relaxed pace where he's you know, slowing his, we can slow our inputs down, he slows his responses down. So this now is quite, you know, calm, and I can go to him and say, you know, it's okay, we're all good, and it's all gentle and sweet, and I don't want him to feel subjugated, but I don't want to feel subjugated either, you know. Yeah, you've got to go that way now. Oh, you see, we're just being smart. So that's just a bit of a learned behaviour there, and it's probably come from, I would say, it's you know, almost like a join-up thing that Monty Roberts does, or a bastardized version of that. You know, a lot of round pen work just required that the horse face you. So you'd hassle them, and then when they face you, you would put your whip behind you. So that would be like a rough version, and you see that quite a lot. You see it all around the world. You see it in, you know, but it's very Stockman type round pen work, like in America or Australia. You know, Spanish training methods tend to do that. It's very sort of dominance based, very black and white. It's almost too binary, which is not what we want. We want to be able to use that spectrum between aggressive and passive, and be able to move along that line, ultimately to a point of balance where it's nothing in the middle, you know. So that everything, you know, and obviously at that point in the middle, it's where you can cue things very subtly, without it being dominant and without it being passive, you know, right in the middle of that spectrum. But at the moment, because he's not there, he's expecting it to be. So on one hand, he's trying to dominate me, I'm backing him up, but not so much that he feels subjugated, but just enough to say, you know, I'm just trying to push you into the right area here and do the right thing. You know, I'm not going to be intimidated by him, but I don't want him to feel intimidated by me either. Let's find some balance in this relationship. So now, if he moves off quietly and politely like that, he's having a little bit of a bad thought there, so I'll just gently correct it back, because it's only a little bit of a bad thought. Now I don't need to use as much to get him to move. Well, you were thinking bad things. He was trying to develop something there. He was trying to develop something. Don't be smart. He will be different when he's gelded. I mean, this is just quite stallion-y.
Yeah.
Trouble. I suppose he's had a fair bit of trouble. It's quite dominant training, so he thinks any correction means the ante's going to be raised and he's going to be in big trouble. We just need his responses to be less, so that when I correct him, it actually, you know, it's not that I'm fighting him. I just want him to do something, which in that case is to back up, you know. Then I'll tell him he's good. Find some balance, and when I'm leading him, if I need him away, he doesn't have to overreact by throwing himself up in the air. Come on. We can converse on a reasonable level rather than shouting at each other. Very easy. Control yourself.
Wow. That is amazing.
And he's not
And
even.
not even a nibble.
I mean, he's thinking about it there, because it's hard for him to resist, isn't it? Like you're nibbling, don't you? committed to being, I mean, you know, he's just got to choose on this calmer or considerate behaviour than, you know, his other stuff. But his other stuff doesn't come from just being a young colt. It's that when he has been nippy, he's been probably thrashed for it, you know. So he's expecting the moment he deviates from the right thing, there's this disproportionate response, I would guess, has been his history, and it's got to relate, really. So what, I'm replacing it with corrections that relate to the magnitude of the behaviour, really. But it's knowing what's what, really. With him, I mean, you know, that was quite a basic thing where he went to move forward and I just corrected him back. But sometimes he leans, and he leans a bit more with his intention to really push you and dominate your space. And in that situation, just as you wouldn't tolerate it in a queue in Sainsbury's, somebody barging you out the way to get to the till, you know, you have to say absolutely not, you know, not having you push me around. It's not right. It's not conducive to future relationships, you know. Right there, just pushing on me with his muzzle, trying to engineer a situation where he's and take a little nip. What is genuine colty behaviour? You know, when young colts are playing in the field, they go for each other's legs, you know, to bring them down. So this is quite difficult for them to drop, because they see it as a challenge